really awesome and amazing graphic designer? How about an illustrator or a photographer? This is Raini Roberts, and I wanted to tell you how you can get my designer, illustrator husband, Scotty Roberts, to work for you on your project. Do you have an awesome self-published book but no cover, or even worse, a cover that really sucks? Do you need a kick-ass logo for your company or some f***ing awesome graphic designs for your ads or website? Then get in touch with my husband for the best f***ing awesome kick-ass design and illustration. He knows his stuff, and he's been at this for more years than I've been alive. Go to scottallenroberts.com. That's Scott with 2 T's, ALANROBERTS.com to take a look at his online portfolio of work, or call 651-468-8115. Now go out and kick some ass with some kick-ass graphic design.
Hire my dad, so he can take me to Disneyland.
Well, happy Sunday morning, ladies and gentlemen. I've been sitting here so long at my desk this morning. My coffee is already cold. But, well, it's not frigid cold like it is outside. It's just cool. But it's still worth the drink. I hope you have your cup of coffee. Welcome to the unofficial Intrepid radio program. It's Sunday. So hang on a second. Yeah, it's lukewarm. So, and that I will spew thee out of my mouth. What was that Bible verse? Since it's Sunday, since you are neither hot nor cold, but lukewarm, I shall spew you out of my mouth. So, of course, there's a deeper spiritual message to that, but I'm just using it. I'm not ready to spew my coffee out of my mouth, but if I saw a child wander this way this morning, I would probably send them up to replenish my cup of coffee. Yes, Matthew Sainsbury, Revelation. There you go. Our font of information, Matthew Sainsbury from Barbados. Welcome to the show this morning. And Susie Q, good to see you. Yeah, I need more coffee. And Uncle Dave is out there, Uncle Dave Potter. And I saw a few other people, I thought, for early on a Sunday morning. I know Russ Heslage is out there with the Federation, TrekFederation.com. Go check out his website. Big Star Trek organization, but at the same time, also a humanitarian organization. They do a lot to help people. I don't know the exact ins and outs of all their mission criteria, but they exist for more than just spreading the news of Star Trek. It is also to help people in their communities. So go say good morning to Russ, TrekFederation.com. He's also got Subspace Radio, and he just became a new member. He's been here for a long time, but he's become a new member under Subspace Radio. And so thanks for that, by the way, Russ. And Morgan Snow is here this morning. Good to see you. And more and more people filing in. There's more people here than have shown their faces, so feel free to show your face. We may have a Raini sighting this morning. We don't know yet. She'll let us know. Like she said yesterday, we did that little video yesterday talking about ice cream. And I mentioned Sunday morning, it's Sunday, with Scotty and Raini. And she said she may be here. She may not be here. So we'll see if she rises. After standing 2 days in the cold outside, it was rather a tiring experience. She'd get home and hop in the hot bath with some Epsom salts and hit the sack rather early last night. So hit the hay, maybe better. So it's kind of funny. At the end of summer, when you have 40 degrees outside as your high temp for the day, and no, in Great Britain, 40 degrees isn't 40 degrees Celsius, it's 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which equals 4.4444444 degrees Celsius. So that gives you some kind of idea of the temperature. And so when it's 40 degrees outside in October, after you've had just a few days ago, about a week ago now, we had 82 degrees. I think it was on Monday or Tuesday of this last week. Then it started getting cool. A couple days later, we had an inch of snow on the ground after 82 degrees. That's coming off of a line of 80s and 90s in the summer, 100 in the summer, 190, 80, down into the 70s, a little bit into the 60s. And guess what happens? You have another hot day, 82, and then it all turned frigid like overnight. And we had that inch of snow. And it was wet, heavy snow. It was all over the trees and the rooftops and, well, some of the rooftops. It's wherever there was warmth that was already there that had been soaking up the sun all summer. The roads did not get any snow. They were wet, but there was no snow accumulated. The driveway had no accumulated snow, but all the grassy areas did, and the trees and so on. So my point is, at the end of summer, when you step out into 40 degrees, you're like absolutely freezing because your body is acclimated to the hundreds and the 90s and the 80s and so on. And so it came on rather fast. I have a feeling we're going to have a long winter this year, unless it was a freak Arctic blast that came in here. So 40 degrees at the art show. Rainey had an art show Friday and Saturday, and we went out there, and it was freezing. I actually stood there. I had on layers. When it's cold outside, it's layers. That's how you dress. You know, you put a t-shirt on, then I put on a long t-shirt over that, then a sweater, and then my coat, my wool pea coat, navy pea coat, and I had a scarf on and a hat. And you know what? By the end of the night, Friday, it only went 4 to 7 on Friday. By 7 o'clock, I was shivering. I would pick up my coffee and I was shivering. I'm like, I don't shiver. I don't do that. So I was cold even, and Rainy was cold. Then we went back yesterday. There was predicted snow showers. Well, we didn't get those, thank God. Half of the day was clear blue skies with clouds constantly on the horizon. Then they moved in and covered everything up. And so we were there the full day yesterday, and we were cold. It was nice. Even in 40 degrees was the high temp. When the sun came out, I think it shot up to 50. You step out from under your tent into the aisle, the lane, and the sun shining on you. It was glorious. You're just like, oh. I felt like getting a Siberian tan, you know, where everybody's out in the sunshine soaking it up, but they're still packed in their woolies. And, you know, you pull back the woolies and you go, oh, sunshine on me. I saw a picture like that once. It had a bunch of Siberian young ladies. They were fairly good looking. And they were all standing dressed, all packed up in sweaters and wools and scarves. And they were all had them pulled back and their legs exposed. And they're standing out in the frigid air in the sun, soaking up the sun. And I think it was subtitled, the photo, the Siberian suntanning weather. And so that's what it felt like at times yesterday. But in August, September, October, when it starts to get cold and it gets down to 40 degrees, it is like an Arctic blast and you're dying. You're like, I can't believe how cold it is. Now, flip the calendar around. Do that in February. February, we're up here especially, Minnesota, Wisconsin, we have that frigid Arctic winter. Usually around a little bit after New Year's, the first of the year, it'll start, those temps will drop. And you'll get negative 10 degrees below zero and negative 20 degrees below zero. On rare years, you'll get those actual air temps of -30 to -40 below zero. And you get snow and ice, and you got snow drifting to 7 feet in front of your door, things like that. But, up here in the cities, we've got very efficient in this climate up here, very efficient municipal plows. Now, you can wake up at 6 in the morning after you've had a dump of 3 feet of snow on you last night, and you'll wake up and the streets will already be plowed out and cleared, and which is kind of nice. And if you've hired a good private plowing company, like a guy who's got a pickup truck with a plow on the front, you hire him, and you'll come out, and at 6 in the morning, he's out there already clearing your driveway. So now I've got a snowblower. I've got one of those big ones. It's a big monster. It's about this big, and it's got a handle that it blows the snow out nice. Last year I didn't have to use it at all because we had somebody come and plow our drive. So after a winter like that, and it turns 40 degrees for the first time, we always have this freak February thaw that lasts maybe 2 days. Those of you from up here, Uncle Dave is from up here. He knows what that's like. And many days of -20, he says. And then there's the wind chill, by the way, on top of that, which brings it. You'll see the weatherman, and he'll get on and he'll say, you'll see here that we have an Arctic blast coming in from the northwest. And he says, temps today are going to be, -23 degrees. But with that wind chill that's coming in, it's going to go down to it's going to feel like -72 degrees. So skin can freeze in 11 minutes at that temperature. So be careful and pack warm, dress warm. That's what you'll be told on the weather reports. And so, but then you get that freak February thaw. And it always seems to happen in February sometime. And it teases you. It's like the weather teasing you to say, ha, spring is coming. Psych. Because you step outside and it's 40 degrees outside. We've had it be 42, 45 degrees outside, which sounds really cold when you're from a southern clime, or really cold if it's the middle of August or September or even October. And remember, on the other end, October, we're freezing our butts off the last 2 days outside in 40 degrees. It goes 40 degrees in February after you've had all that Arctic blasting. You're outside, you're like, it's flip-flop time. You put on your flip-flops and your shorts, your sunglasses, your tropical multicolored psychedelic sun shirt, and you're outside. You're like, I could shovel a walk like this. Oh, I'm going to walk the trash out to the curb in my flip-flops and my shorts, because your body's acclimated to the frigid cold. And it turns 40, it's like 80 in the summertime. And so when you're out here and you see 40, I don't even need a coat today, says Uncle Dave. That's exactly it. That's what we do up here. It's like 40 degrees, shirt sleeves. And now, of course, you stay out in that long enough, you'll get a little cool. But man, is it ever nice. You get those. But you know what's coming. When that happens to you in February up here, spring's only about 5-6 weeks away at that point. But when you get that southern blast coming in, and it gets balmy outside, and you're out in your flip-flops, tomorrow, you look at the forecast, tomorrow's temperature, 5 below zero. And so you're like, no, please don't happen. But then you know what happens? Everything starts melting. Once it gets above freezing, 32, when it's up into 40 and 42 for a whole day in February, everything's melting off. And you've got water everywhere. You even got water running down the gutter in the street. What happens the next morning when overnight it drops to 5 below zero? Everything freezes. And then it'll snow. So what you've got is a layer of thick ice that froze overnight, and snow on top of it, and wind chills of -35 degrees. And suddenly it's Arctic winter again. You're at the North Pole. You put up the flip-flops for a couple more weeks. But there you go. That's what happens up here. In the summer when it's 40, you're freezing your ass off. In the winter, when it's 40, you're wearing your flip-flops and looking for the tanning oil. So that's what it's like right now. It's a little cold out. I was outside this morning. It was all right. I don't think winter's begun in earnest quite yet. But usually the earliest we notice it getting too cold up here too fast is when we have snow on Halloween. Because Halloween, we take out the kids. They usually wear a jacket and they put their costumes. Some Halloweens, you don't even need a jacket. I remember most of my Halloweens growing up, we didn't need much for outerwear when we were outside. But you wore a sweater or a sweatshirt, and you put your costume on over that. So, hey, Grumpy Stack, making it in. Good to see you this morning. And so how's the weather in your neck of the woods today? Up here, it's cool. Hopefully, if all goes well, as a matter of fact, I'm going to look at it here. I'm going to see what weather.com predicts for my area. Let's see. We're going to put in 54025 is my zip code. Well, it's supposed to take that. There it is. My computer's slower than I am this morning. Boom. Let's see what the weather's going to do now. We're going to have right now weather today. It says the morning 42 degrees. The afternoon 40, and it's got one drop of rain coming out of a gray cloud icon, which means we're going to have maybe the chance of some showers. But it's over freezing, so it's not going to freeze out there. Well, by evening, 33 degrees, so the temperature is going to drop. And overnight, 28 degrees. And so right now, the weather today in Somerset, it is now 42. It feels like 35 because there's a bit of a wind. Now, I want to see what's going to happen for the next 5 days. Let's see. Here we go. Today, the top temp is going to be 43. Tomorrow, Monday, 35 is the top temp. Tuesday, 41, but no clouds. Pure sunny sky, it's predicting. 45 by Wednesday, 51 by Thursday of this week. The next 10 days, according to this, and I don't know how they predict this with any kind of accuracy, but according to this, our warmest day in the next 10 days is a week from today at 67 degrees, which is about the normal temp for this time of year. So then it drops back into the 40s. So we got 40s, still in the mid 40s 2 weeks from today. So next weekend, now like on Friday and Saturday this week, Rainey and I are going to the Renaissance Festival grounds with the Jimmy Cunningham's Feast. So he does the Feast of Fantasy during the festival season, Renaissance season. And at Halloween time, he does the Phantom's Feast. And Rainey and I are going out for his audience to take them and do a little ghost hunt around the grounds there in the old buildings and stages on the Renaissance Festival. So this Friday, it's going to be 63 as the high, with 40 degrees at night, and then 66 on Saturday, 67 on Sunday. So if that forecast holds, we'll have a pretty nice warm day, warmish. It'll be 40 degrees when we're doing the ghost hunt because it's usually after 9 p.m. But there you go. So that's what we've got so far. 20 minutes into today's Sunday morning show. What do we got? We got weather report. So I hope you're all having a good day so far. I'm going to take a little break because I'm going to run upstairs and refill my coffee with hot coffee. I'll be about 2 minutes, everybody. You sit here and enjoy. I'm going to go ahead and just put on the beginning of the show again. So you got something to watch for at least 30 seconds or so. So I'll be right back. Stand by.
Let's see, where do I gotta go? Good morning. Scotty's back on his way down. I can hear him walking down the stairs. Let's see. I don't know how to do the over.
Who is that beautiful woman sitting at my microphone?
I don't know. Who is it? Oh.
I'm back. I have new, fresh, hot coffee.
Did you bring mittens down? And mittens.
No.
My hands are cold.
I pulled out my big woolly socks to wear because my feet were cold today. You know where I just found them? In front of the microwave. So I had them at some point and couldn't find where I set them down. Nice. Now I've got them.
I put a vest down, so I'm not got a vest on.
Oh, look, Uncle Dave is here.
Yeah.
Let's bring him in.
Hey.
I'm going to take banner. Boom. How you doing, Uncle Dave?
Good. How are you today?
I'm good. Are you at home? I don't see your green background.
I am at home. It's actually to this side. I'm rearranging everything in my room/office studio.
Yes. So, good morning to you, Raini Roberts, says Matthew Sainsbury. He's sending you a sunny good morning from Barbados. Is it sunny there this morning? Is it typically Caribbean or is it raining there this morning? Roger Rabbit, we need a captain's cabin blend of coffee. Yes, we do. We've actually been thinking about that. Getting the rocket fuel or something like that. The captain's cabin blend. Ken Bellows, good morning. This is the Roberts Family Hour. There's Ellery.
Good morning, Ellery.
Hi, Ellie.
So let's not do it today.
See what happens.
You better not break that.
See, don't break that.
Go upstairs. No. I'll take your phone away right now if you're going to be that way.
Bada boom. Listen to Mom. Listen to what Mom's saying. So, yeah, we got all these new phones on. I don't have my phone with me. But
all these wonderful new phones.
Yeah, all these wonderful new phones. We went on to Verizon, and Raini came to me and she said, we found this great deal. Verizon, $167 a month for 5 phones with unlimited phone calling, unlimited texting, and all of that. And so I said, wow, what a deal. That's a deal. Let's do it. So she got on the phone with them and she talked to, she asked all her questions. She wanted to make sure all her bases were covered. Because you know how these companies work. They said 167. Oh, did you notice in the small print that there's going to be $30 a month for this, $12 a month for that, $8 a month for this?
Oh, you have a teenager? Oh, wow.
There's the teenager policy. And then something they never discussed with her. Oh, but it was in the small print when you signed. Oh, all she did was agree. Yeah, I agreed to that.
The lady told me that I was talking to, if you agree with everything I've said, just go ahead and initial here and here and we'll get started. But I asked, go ahead. I'll let you tell the story.
You go.
She said along the whole way, I'm like, it depends on how much phones are going to cost. So we have this great deal. You can get all the phones for free and stop slamming them down. You can get all the phones for free. So we got 5 free phones.
Yeah, free phones.
Free phones. And I was like, free phones. She said, yeah, free phones. And I'm like, okay, well, if they're free, then we'll do it.
We're in Wisconsin, Rapid Dog.
Yeah. But not only do you want to go on with the story, but our first bill gets here.
Yeah. So $167 free. Everything's free. She agrees to everything. She signs up. $167. Our first bill came on Friday. You know how much it was? $444.43. And Raini came to me. She goes, "This isn't right."
Yeah, I'm like, "This is a joke."
She said, "We're going to cancel. We're going to cancel if this is." So I called them up. Oh, well, you had $35 per phone activation fee. Okay, that's what, about an extra $165. All right, on top of the $167. Okay. Well, I said, what's our actual bill going to cost? Now, this is Verizon, folks. And I'm polite. I'm not yelling at anybody or anything. And what's our actual bill going to cost us? Well, your actual monthly bill will be $183.22 or something like that. Okay, I said, I can deal with that. She says, well, it's actually what's $50 on top of 183? 80, that's 1/3. It's $233.43 per month is the actual bill. She said, but we'll knock that $50 off every month if you go to auto pay. I said, so it costs us $50 more a month if we don't set our card up for auto pay? I said, that's an artificial charge. Drop that. And not that I'm against auto pay. I'm against it when they say, oh, we're going to charge you $50 more. I said, so in essence, you're penalizing us $50 a month for not putting it on auto pay.
But you're going to get your money anyways. So WTF?
Yeah, you're going to get it anyway, or we won't have phones if we don't pay you. Duh. And so then she said, also, she reminded us that we have to have this service plan for 3 years. And I think Rainey knew that there was a 3-year service plan.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
No. There was
sign up for X number of years.
Nope. There was
it always used to be 2 years.
Nope. There was no years to have to sign up. It was we were getting free phones. Our
Now,
bill was going to be $167 a month.
Remember advertising these phones for the last 10 years or more. It's been sign up for 2 years and, you'll be at this rate for 2 years. Well, now it's 3 years. But then she said, oh, and these phones that you have, these 5 beautiful new phones, we're not charging you for those. But you will get a charge every month on your bill. But then the next month you'll have a refund.
What?
For the charge of your phones. Now, that's exactly true because I drilled her on that over and over again. I said, now, you're telling me that we've got to pay for the phones every month, but you refund it every month. Yes, that's how it works. And the first 2 months will be higher until it gets into the system that you're on this new plan. And I said, wait a minute. Verizon, you advertise yourself as the greatest mobile service tech company that's out there, and it takes your system 2 months to catch up to this? I said, you know what takes time to catch up is for people who think with their brains and realize that Verizon's scamming them for money. And I said, you're just making money off of us. And I said, as far as, and this bill, we had to have these phones right here, these really, when you think about it, cheap-ass Samsung phones.
They're 2 years old.
They're refurbished phones, but they're on the bill, they're $650 each times 5. You can do the math on that. That's over $3,000 for our phones. But we're getting them for free. But we have to pay for it in the bill so they can refund us each month.
So,
and I said, that makes no sense to me.
How much do you think they make on interest nationwide on all the people that they bill, hold that money for a month, and then give back at the end of the month, and then collect a different set of money and hold that for a month?
Let's say Verizon, which is a very popular phone company, one of the big ones, has 1 million people on this plan. How much interest do you suppose they're making off of your money every month? So what they're doing is they're acting like a bank. They're taking your money and then they'll refund it to you. And I said, I'm not paying this $440 bill, $444.43. I said, I will not be paying this bill on by the 28th of this month. I said, you need to figure out how you get it as close to what was advertised to us as possible. And what was the kicker on this? They said we had to keep these phones for 3 years. And we can't use any other phone on those, just the phones. We have to have this phone for 3 years. Now, I didn't misunderstand because I asked her 10 different ways. I said, so this phone and the 5 phones in our family, we have to use these phones, the Samsung blah, 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 blah. We got to use these phones for 3 years. I said, what happens if my child breaks their phone and I have to replace it with a different phone? Well, if your child breaks the phone in that 3 years, you can replace it with any phone you want, but then you'll have to pay full price for the phone that's broken because you've taken it off the system. And I said, now without getting conspiratorial and, you know, big brother looking over you, I just said, so if I drop this phone, right now, and it broke 3 days into this plan, I said, I would owe you $650, even though I'd have to go out and buy another phone to replace it. Yes. After 3 years, though, you get a free replacement. I said, as free as these are? I said, what a deal. And she said, well, I've got a solution for that. All you have to do is put our insurance coverage on them. I said, okay, well, just in case it breaks, then we'll cover it. I said, well, what's the cost to put insurance on these phones? She quoted me, it's $30 per phone per month.
18 per phone per month.
18 per phone per month?
Yep.
18 per phone per month. So now you do, what's 5 times 18? That's
like
50, that's $90 a month to insure our 5 phones in case my clumsy little children drop their phones.
Which Rowan
That'll
didn't
never
even
happen.
make it a year.
Rowan didn't make it a year on
with
her last phone. So that's $90 a month times 12 months is what? That's almost $1,200. Let's call it, well, 9 times 12 is what? $108. So $108 a year, per phone. So take that $108 per year times 5. That's $540 a year to insure these phones that you have to have on your line. Otherwise, you have to pay for them. So $500 a year times 3 years. 508 times 3 is what? I'm sorry. Yeah, 508. 508 times 3 is 15. Yeah, it's a lot. I came up with $3,000 before, because I could have sworn she said it's $30 a month.
No, $3,500 was what we would end up paying for all 5 phones.
Oh,
in the end.
There you go. So if we get their insurance to make sure we don't lose the freeness of our phone for 3 years, we've got to pay an additional. I said to her, do you realize that that's $1,800 extra dollars in your pocket? So I don't have to pay for my phone if it gets broken. And I said, at the end of this, I was on the phone for about an hour with them.
56 minutes and 11 seconds.
56 minutes and 11 seconds, because I pointed at it when I was hanging up. I said, look at that, Rainey. 56 minutes and 11 seconds to get through this bill. And, I can drop maybe 2 of the connection fees for your phones, which was $35 a month. Or I'm sorry, for $35 each, one-time fee to activate the phone. And I said, so you are sending me out 5 phones that are not activated yet? Why don't you just activate them on your end? I said, why do we have to pay you $35 each? Well, what was 35 times 5? 15, 150, 100, close to 160, 180 bucks. I said, why do I have to pay you 180 bucks to turn them on? So that's just the policy. And I said, why don't you get rid of that? Wipe out the activation fee, get our bill as close to $200 as you possibly can, which is what you say is the monthly fee without going auto pay. And I said, then we'll keep the plan. Well, I can't do that. And you still have to pay the $444 because the system will refund you that amount after you've paid it. And I said, that's nuts. I said, do you know how stupid that is? I said, not you personally. You're just the rep. I said, you got to hear it. I said, that is absolutely ridiculous. I said, if I did that to my clients, I'm going to do this book thing. Now, the illustrations are free for these 10 illustrations for you, but I'm going to charge you $450 a piece, but you'll have to pay that per month, but I'll refund a portion of that back to you each month, but you have to continue to pay.
Well, what it all comes down to, and what I brought right back to her was, we came from Straight Talk. I thought this was going to be a little easier, a little nicer. I said, but
I said, no one said all these extra fees. I asked the questions. I didn't get the answers. No, I didn't read the fine print because the lady said if we talked about everything and it all looks good, all sounds good, just sign it because it's all in there. I signed it. I said, I'm going to go back to Straight Talk where I know I'm only going to have to pay. I said it's $35 a month per phone plus tax. It's still under $40.
No hidden fees.
Yeah, no hidden fees.
But it is a month-to-month plan, and you got to have your own phone.
It's not a month-to-month. Well, yeah, you just pay for
it's a
it.
It's a monthly plan.
But anyways, you can go out and buy a phone, the same phone that they gave us for free for $650. I can go get the same phone for $200, and I can pay $50 when I buy it, and it will cover the insurance on it for however long you have that phone.
Yep.
I'm going back to Straight Talk where everything's laid out nice, neat, and it's easy.
I told her, look, I said, if you have anybody out there that's a customer that signs up for this plan and thinks they're not going to be a customer very long, because when you get that first bill and it's 3 times the amount of what the plan is, and I'm rounding that number off. It's like you take 15, 3 times 15 is 45. Our plan's supposed to be 16, so 167 a month times 3. You're roughly 3 times the amount at $444.
But for those next 2 months that we have to pay, I could have just went and bought brand new phones from Straight Talk for all of us.
That's it. So I said, you know what? I said, that's too expensive. I'm not going to pay $444 a month. And I'm not going to pay $233 a month for phones. I said, that's ridiculous. That's a car payment. And I said, just for my kids to have phones, I said, we'll just take our old phones and back and which we've still got. There's my old phone still sitting here charging. I said, we'll cancel. I said, this is too expensive. And I said, and it's too damn convoluted. I said, if you can't just say it's going to cost you this much and this is what you pay every month, boom. I said, if you can't do that and there's all this convoluted nonsense mixed in here, bullshit, may I say, then go find some other dummy to sign up for this and tell them how much money they're saving on your plan.
Yeah, right.
So there you go.
So anyways, long story to say.
The raspberries,
our
I think.
new phones are going back.
Yeah. So all our new phones, I love the new phone. I love the camera on it. I love the fact that, my old phone has got, it's got a crack, little tiny crack, hairline crack in the lens. So I always get this little white flare up somewhere in one of my pictures. If the light hits it right, and it was like, what was the gigs on or the pixel on the new phones? Something like 63 megapixel pictures. And it's like, oh my God.
But we can
when I was shooting weddings with a big Canon camera 18 years ago, it was only 8 megapixels and I was getting fantastic pictures, 63 megapixels. And so I love it for the camera, but I ain't paying that much money.
No.
Yeah.
The new versions of our phone, which I really liked my old phone. The new version is out and it's $259 for the new version. And it's got the new updated camera and the bigger hard drive and the more storage. So
see, I want an iPhone. What are they up to 14 now? I saw them when they were 12. The iPhone 12 had like 100 megapixel camera. And I thought, oh, that's very cool. But that phone costs you $1,000.
Bella says Batteries Plus can fix your crack.
Battery Plus can fix the crack. There it is. Right, you got Rainy laughing on that one. Can they fix? I got this big crack right here. I've had it for about 60 years. I don't know if it'll ever fill in. So anyway, that's my rant against consumerism this morning. So Verizon kind of sucks. Now, I hear a lot of people say, well, Verizon's been really good for us. Well, you know what? You got a plan for your phone and you pay your plan for your phone. Do you have 5 phones?
Maybe
you're trying to get
that 1.8% of Americans who make over $400,000
I believe you can.
a year and don't need to be charged more taxes because it's really hard to live. Maybe you're one of those people and paying that extra money a month doesn't hurt you.
Yeah. Single and carefree like Uncle Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Single
rolling in the dough am I.
That's right. You know what's funny? Whenever you seem to have that extra bit of dough in your account, and you've got
The
a little-
universe goes, oh, I'll take that.
Oh, let me give you a car repair.
You're supposed to tell yourself you are the exception to the rule and you are financially free.
Yep. Oh,
And
I'm
watch
then
the-
you will
it.
get
Oh,
better.
you fallen
Visualize,
off the loading
Dave.
dock. Oh no, $6,000 at the ER that night.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. And you know what? That's Dave. Get our insurance. Our insurance will only cost you for a single man like you only $532 a month.
Yeah, I don't.
That's
I don't
5
make
months,
$532 a month. Wow, you can't live on less than that. Well, I'm still alive, even though I've fallen off a loading dock.
Yeah.
The
And for my
universe
next
keeps
trick,
trying to kill me, but it can't.
oh, Ken Ballo says Dave Mr. Moneybags.
Yeah.
That's him. 6,000 for one pill, says Carlene. Hey, Carlene, nice to see you. $6,000 for one pill. Well, don't you know that they have to pay staff to put that on the shelf first and label it so it doesn't get mixed up with the poisonous drugs? And then they have to pay somebody to come and get it and put it in a little paper cup for you and
Yep.
then deliver it to your room and then supervise your taking of it. $6,000 pill at the hospital. Ain't that the truth?
Well,
So,
they after all the X-rays, nothing's broken. And and I'm still in a huge amount of pain. I go to the chiropractor. Just the first adjustment eliminated all the pain. So
nice.
I'm
Yeah,
a huge fan of my
chiropractors.
chiropractor, and she cost me mac and cheese
Right.
Mac and cheese. Yep.
because I have a barter thing with her. So
Nice.
I will make a
Yes.
large pan of mac and cheese or a
mac and cheese.
lasagna or something like that. And what?
I said, where's my mac and cheese? Here's your adjustment.
Rainey will give you an adjustment for mac and cheese.
I can't eat Dave's mac
Dave
and cheese.
made
It's
all.
delicious,
I-
but I get the worst.
I
of the
can-
adjustment.
I
The
can
last-
do gluten-free pasta for you.
He
Yeah.
can.
I
D-
get
we did
suggestions
the
from
last
there, though.
Paradigm Symposium we did, which was in this is a long time ago, 2015. Dave was we hired Dave to be our caterer, and he catered not only box lunches during the program where people could just walk right out to the kitchen
Rainey
counter
helped on those.
and get those, and that was fantastic. What's that? Oh, Rainey helped.
Rainey helped on
she did.
the box lunches.
And he made
Gotcha.
dinners and he did our banquet for us Saturday night. But at this banquet, he made these huge trays of mac and cheese. Now, that's not the only thing he did. It's not like, hey, welcome to the symposium banquet. Get your mac and
Here's
cheese.
your mac and cheese.
No.
Here's your crap.
It was a fabulous spread he made. I don't remember everything he did, but one of the dishes was these big pans he did of gourmet mac and cheese.
It's 15
And you-
pounds of cheese in a batch.
There you go. 2 pounds per batch.
There was something with mushrooms. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And-
that's
but
the
you took
fancy one I do
a
with,
forkful of that mac and cheese and shoved it in your maw, and you were like, "Oh my God, I have died and gone to heaven. Craft is hell. I have died and gone to heaven with Dave Potter's mac and cheese."
Smoked blue cheese and portobello's is the one with mushrooms. It's like, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. That was
Mac
good.
and cheese with portobello mushrooms. We're talking.
No, it
we're
wasn't mac
talking
and cheese with
gourmet.
portobello
Oh, wasn't it?
mushrooms. No, he made portobello mushrooms for
Oh, he
the
did.
symposium.
Yes.
Oh
That's
yeah, I
what I-
did for the vegetarians. I do a large mushroom cap stuffed with rice and
That's
what I remember.
nice.
That was
Yeah.
good. I got a
Yeah.
bite of them.
Carlene says mac and cheese made with Cabot cheese and bacon. Bacon.
yeah. You put mac and cheese on a meat smoker for an hour, it turns heavenly.
Oh, I used to like when you'd have family gatherings and stuff, and everybody said, "What do you want to bring?" I'll bring the baked beans to the picnic. People are like, baked beans? What do you get? 2 cans of Van Camps and dump them in a saucepan and warm them up? No, God no, heavens no. I would take thick cut bacon and I would dice it all up, and I would take burger and ground burger and onions, and I would put all this stuff together, and I would start caramelizing that all, and then I would take I don't remember what brand I used. I think it was B&M baked beans, and I would dump their thick sauce baked beans. Then you use like ketchup and Heinz 57 and Worcestershire sauce and brown sugar and all, and then you mix that all up and you bake that. What's that?
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. That's right. Worcester. That's like Worcester, Mass. So you mix that all together and you bake it. And you bake it for a long time on a low temp. And that thing comes out with, the little bit of crust on the top. And you break through that. It's like, stick your finger in the pie and 55 blackbirds fly into the sky or whatever it is. But you open that up and you start eating that. And the next day, the leftover is even better because you fridge it overnight, but then you warm it up. It's this deep, thick. You take a spoonful of that and you dump it upside down, and it goes, look, it's like a DQ Blizzard. It doesn't fall out. That's the way the beans are, and they are meaty and wonderful, and they stick to your ribs.
I've never had them. So.
They stick to Rainey's naked body when we have food fights.
Right.
Yeah. Here, let me get those beans. So, yeah, there are things that are simple.
Did you ever have Maddie's dip? Did you ever have Maddie's dip, the dip?
No.
Oh, my God. It's a queso dip with meat and stuff in it, and it is amazing. They just call it the dip. Oh, my God.
Maddie is one of those people. It's my daughter's best friend they grew up with. When we moved away from a neighborhood in their 5th grade, I made sure, along with her dad, that these girls got to get together all the time. We moved to the other side of town. We were hell and gone, a half an hour drive away. And we made sure that they stayed friends and remained friends. I was the second dad. Her dad was the second dad to my girls, and they grew up that way. But Maddie decided she didn't like my politics as an adult, and I'm the most repulsive male she's ever known. I'm one of those. She's become one of those.
You're an old white man.
Yeah, you're an old white man from Wisconsin.
You didn't do anything for her, and she's not your friend.
Yep. I've never done anything for her, and she's not my friend. She's just was her friend's dad.
Yep.
She still calls me Uncle Dave. She still calls me Uncle Dave. And
she doesn't know your politics.
So when she graduated, she invited me to her grad party. So I pop over there for a little bit, and her dad's like, who's this old guy that's hanging around my dog?
Yeah.
And he comes over and she introduces him, and he's like, oh, I've heard so much about you.
Nice.
So he was really nice.
Yeah, he used to be on my Facebook, I think it was. I haven't heard from him in years. So
probably one of those people that have just dropped off. I think Facebook's been making people just drop. Lose your friends.
So well, I think he probably doesn't get a good report of me anymore. I don't know.
Well, your politics haven't changed.
Nothing's changed about me since
20
years ago when they were in 5th grade. So,
but still, I lose people all the time, and I see them refriend me, and it's like,
oh hi.
Either they got mad and deleted me, or Facebook dropped them.
Rudy did that on mine. He's like, I sent you a friend because I thought we were on, and I said I thought we were too, but someplace along the way he got dumped on. I've never purged my friends list. Yeah, I don't do that.
I do that every now and then because it seems I'm always skirting the 5,000 friends, and so I start looking through the friends. It's usually the birthdays. You know how Facebook comes up and says, "Here's the birthday list for today." And when I see 9/10 of them are people I don't even know and I've never had a conversation with.
Yeah.
Maybe they're listeners to the show. I don't know. But usually if I don't even recognize the name, I'm like, purge.
Sometimes we sit and click on the pictures and it'll be, the 5 sexy pictures of 5 different women. And then you scroll down and then it's a dude from Africa.
Yeah.
Delete.
Dude from Africa with his family.
My purgatory list is large like that. So I get friend requests and I look at the mutual friends because sometimes I can figure out, oh, this is a Mason that's coming in and he's just seen that I'm a Mason, so he's friending me, or it's somebody from TRMN or whatever. I can usually figure out where the connection is. A lot of times it's people that are festival now, and they see me in old festival people's lists.
Yeah.
And so they add me, and I'm like, I haven't been to a festival for a decade. I don't know why you're friending me.
If you're on Facebook, you deserve the misery that comes with it. Same as TV, says Rapid Dog. There's your light for the day. Our daily bread. Thank you, Rapid Dog. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I don't care about their misery. I don't care.
I use it for marketing.
Yeah, that's I primarily, all of those of you who are friends of mine on Facebook, I primarily use it to pump my stuff. But I do all the personal stuff. Here's my family, my wife, my philosophies, my all of this. I do that to show I'm not just a guy trying to push my shit on you on Facebook. So if you look between the lines, you'll see we promote the radio show, the books, Raini's business, all of that.
Murals.
But if I only promote my business, I become one of those people on social media that's only pushing my business. So I try to do things that are personable. I have conversations with people. I do stuff like that. Why do I take the time to do that? So the pushing my shit part doesn't overtake the fact that I'm a fun guy. You can talk to me. This is my family and so on. Carly Sagan says, I've been trying to clear out my 5K friends list for 2 years. LOL. So, yeah, that's what I do with social media. And social media is kind of fun to a certain degree. The things they like to censure you for are nuts. Matthew Sainsbury said, Netflix, I heard, was having a decline of viewers due to competitive other movie sites. I heard on the news. Don't listen to the news. That's not why Netflix was having a decline. Do you know why Netflix was having a decline?
Because they raised their prices to $22 a month.
Well, they raised their prices, but so did everybody else. They're having a decline because of their wokeness. Every new show they were putting out was about something woke politically.
Oh my gosh.
And people started saying, we're done. We're not watching that. And they started dropping Netflix. Netflix started to lose a lot of money. So Netflix is now not doing the woke shows quite as much anymore.
The kids used to like to watch Station 19, and now that's what I put on to put them to sleep. But that is a woke show. And they're like, why are those two girls having sex? Or why are those two guys having sex? Why? How come every time we turn this on, everybody's having sex? And it's like, no freaking clue. But when they're not having sex, they're usually yelling at each other and the kids fall asleep. It's great.
Yeah. That's all TV shows are. Doctor shows, 911 shows, fire engine shows, cop shows. They're either all having sex or they're all mad at each other. So the drama.
The one show we watched last night, it opened. I don't think we'll watch it again, but it opened with 5 different couples having sex. It was 5 different sex scenes. I'm like, what the fuck?
What show was that?
Station 19.
Station 19. No. So, yeah. Oh, really?
Gotta go check that out. Add that to
check that one out. Add. So, yeah. So these aren't kids shows anymore.
These are prime TV shows. So it's not.
That's
like
prime time TV.
They show them involved, but not like supernatural.
Now we're not against sex.
Put Windex
at all.
on it.
Yeah, there. Windex. We're not against sex at all. We like sex. We like sexy time. We like sexy time shows, but not when the kids are watching it in prime time. It's like, no.
Right.
Not that kids don't need to learn that stuff, but I don't want my kids learning about sex and relationships from a fire engine show.
Right. We will not.
Next thing, Thomas the Tank Engine. He's a very useful engine. Thomas the Tank Vibrator. He's a very useful vibrator.
That's Ellie.
Is Ellie down here? Oh, no, that's her phone. She
That's
left her phone. Oh, that's my phone? Somebody's calling me.
It's Ellie.
It's not me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because she just called my phone.
You can see that from here?
Nope.
Oh.
I can see it's on. I can see it short enough to say Ellery. But I can't.
Yeah, it's getting hard. It's getting explicit. That's very true, Matthew. Well, it hasn't been. It's been that way since I was in high school. They were complaining about the explicitness on NBC, ABC, CBS. because that's all there was.
Well, and
when
it's
I was
only
in high
got
school.
worse. They've
Yeah.
really pushed the boundary. At first, it was showing people in their underwear, and
Now you can see butts. You can see bare butts on network
side
television.
boob.
Vibrators. Carly Sagan laughed. Roger got me these vibratory vibrators that have little animals looking like kid toys on it.
Well,
Hi,
Hello Kitty.
I'm
Hello
Benji
Kitty
Squirrel.
had started as a way to introduce young girls to their privates.
So revolutionary.
My kids
Here.
have no problem with their privates.
Yeah. They walk around naked all the time, and not Flynn. Flynn's reached that boy age where he's like,
Well, Flynn
he
has
won't take his
always
shirt
been
off in
very.
front of me. What's that?
Flynn has always been very stoic and very.
He's circumspect and stoic. Yes, he's like. I was standing in his room. We were just talking, and I go, try this new swim shirt we got on you. Like, this was a few years ago. It was like a Spider-Man. You know, the swimsuits, the not suit. It's a shirts you can wear out in the pool and stuff if you want to. And I said, try that on and see if that fits. And we're standing talking, and he's just standing there. I said, well, try it on. And he goes, you're in the room. Yep. Sorry. But anyway, that's Flynn. And my other daughters, even Rowan.
We're Olsons.
Rowan is like 10 years old and has got boobs already.
Yeah, she'd be like, look at my boobs, they're getting bigger.
I mean, it reminded me of Kate.
This thing? And it's like,
It reminded me of Kate, Rainey's younger sister. And it's
Olsen.
Yeah. That was one thing. Kate was living with us. She turned 18 that first year we were living together. We were married in 2007, I think it was. Her birthday she was 18. And she lived in the room downstairs. And Rainey and I are up having coffee, and kids are off to school. And Kate comes upstairs, and she goes, "It's my birthday." And I go, "Yes, it is. Happy birthday." And she lifts her shirt, and she goes, "I'm 18. Ditch the old bitch, Scotty." And of course, it was a joke. Rainey laughs because she thinks it's funny. And I'm like, are you supposed to say those things in front of your sister, my wife? So, anyway.
There's the time you guys came back from Apple River and she just walked totally topless from the car to the house.
Yep. Just topless. And we lived on a semi-busy street.
It was really busy.
Yeah, it was. In that particular house. So,
but it didn't matter if the room was full of 100 people at a Scotch and cookies or whatever. She just
Yep. Well,
at one point I remember saying,
no.
"Kate, I don't think there's anyone in the English-speaking world that hasn't seen your tits."
Right.
But they were nice. They were nice.
Subspace Radio. That's Russ. If anybody doesn't know, that's Russ. He says, I mean hormones in chicken McNuggets. That's my theory. The hormones in chicken McNuggets.
And milk.
And milk. Yeah.
That's what does it.
So that reminds me of Mike Myers playing his own Scottish father in So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh, yeah.
Goes, it's a little known fact. He said, the world is run by a group of five, known as the Pentaveret. And he says, and their home base is the Meadows. And he said, what did he say about them? Well, and his son's friend is going, yeah, well, who are these five? He goes, it's the Pope, it's the Gettys, it's the Rothschilds, it's the something other else, and it's Colonel Sanders before he went teats up. and he says, the Colonel, think about it. He says, think about what he puts in his chicken to make you crave it every fortnight. He says, oh, eat my chicken. So there you go. That's what I'm thinking. That's what that made me think of when Russ said it's the hormones in the chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
There it is.
Well, and the milk. It's crazy. Kaylee used to drink so much milk. It was just crazy.
I'm reading one of the comments. I saw a movie some years back called China Moon. If you guys ever heard of it, had intrigue, plot, some sex, blue night, scenes, all of that stuff. That film was like a novelistic story. So many plots. Yeah. And that's the thing. And don't get me wrong. I am no prude. Neither is she. We're fine with the sexy time scenes, You watch all these new series on all the English monarchs. You see a lot of the Spanish princess, the Serpent Queen, the making of Elizabeth, or Elizabeth coming of age or whatever. All of those, they're pretty good series.
The Making of Elizabeth, is that just a long, prolonged sex scene between Henry VIII and Anne Boleyn?
Yeah, pretty much. So the making of, Becoming Elizabeth, I think it was.
Becoming.
That's it. I think that's what the title is. That the title?
I don't remember.
You haven't seen that one?
I started watching it with
But
you.
they're pretty good historically. The costuming is out of this world, and the settings are amazing, and they pretty much stick to basic historical line. But of course, they got to fruit things up a little bit to make it, palatable for the young audience, which is who they're trying to win to watching history. And so they changed the dialogue as definitively 21st century dialogue. They say things that you wouldn't say back then, I'm trying to think of an example of what they would use.
Totally keen, Your Majesty.
Yeah. They don't quite go that bad, but the scripting is definitely meant to win young audiences over, not children audiences, youthful, young adult, college age. Okay, there you go. So, and they're pretty good series other than that. But is there sexy time in them? Yeah, I wouldn't let my kids watch that. I loved the pirate series, Black Sails. And what was the first thing we turned it on? And the first thing you're watching is this riotous sex scene. Not riotous is not the word. This what's the word I'm looking for?
Debauchery.
Energetic. Something. No, not debauch even.
Pirate.
Rainey is pretty grumpy, Stack. You're right. See, I told you.
She's pretty grumpy.
Rainey's very pretty, and so it starts with that. I got no problem with watching something like that. The series was fantastic. And in case you didn't know it, I don't know if this is a spoiler alert, but I didn't notice it till quite a bit in when they start mentioning names I recognized. John Silver. Who was the captain in that? Who was the guy that was in Treasure Island? That was they found had already been marooned on the island. Ben something. Well, all these names start coming up, and I go, wait a minute. It was a prequel. The whole series was a prequel to Treasure Island by Robert Louis Stevenson. And it wasn't Robert Louis Stevenson's work at all. It was just a prequel about these guys. And Long John Silver is this two-legged, young buck of a man, and, and so on and so forth. And, I thought, that's John Silver. Oh, I get it.
Go scratch your ear somewhere else. It stinks.
So yeah, it was a pretty good series, but it was full of sex. And it's like, okay, I can live with that, but not for my kids. We started watching that with the kids one night. This is a great pirate show, I hear. We turn it on. The first thing is steamy boom chicka boom boom. Arr, boom chicka boom boom. Ahoy there, matey. Boom chicka boom boom. Climb me mizzen mast. Boom chicka boom boom. Swab me decks. And it's like this is not a show for our kids.
No. But a good pirate film.
A very good pirate series. It was a series. It was very well done.
Series, but
very well done. So if you're squeamish about the act of sex and people making love and things like that, and seeing a bare butt or even a bare breast every now and then you might not want to watch it. It doesn't make me squeamish, and I don't care.
Yeah. If I want to see that, I'll just come over to your house.
That's right. Yeah, because we put on public shows on the sofa every Thursday night at 11:45. Yeah, that's what we do. With the curtains open.
There's a reason I say Olsen, because it's not just Kate. It's
not. I
Right.
will say, not to
The
be
Olsen girls have
embarrassing
never
or
been
anything. I don't
shot.
think this would embarrass Rainey at all. The talk of this, but when we were dating, back before we were really a full-fledged couple, I remember we were in the living room of the big house in Bloomington. That's the one with the big deep yard and all the big
Yeah.
trees out in the yard. And it was on Portland Avenue, which was a semi-busy street. At about the stoplight a block up was where the busy stopped. And then you got more into this residential street that went through for a couple of blocks, then turned. So we're sitting in this house and there's traffic out on the street. It's nighttime and the lights are on. I had no drapes or curtains. And a huge, massive picture window.
Practically floor to ceiling.
Talking. There you go. And we're on the sofa. We're watching Constantine, I think, the movie with Keanu Reeves. And so one thing leads to another. It gets sexy time in there. And without being prurient or overly visual, Rainey was on top, but there she is in her full glory and facing the picture window. All the lights are on, and
Of course.
she's having a good time. And all of a sudden, I go, you know what? They can see you probably from the street. And she goes, "Shut up! I don't care," or something like that. So that's how I met your mother, Ellery. So those were the early days, and it was there was no. So we don't have hangups as far as sexuality and things like that. When talking about shows, the only time I might come close to saying I have a hangup is when things are snuck in to shows to try to indoctrinate is a little too strong a word, but to normalize things that aren't necessarily normal. My 8-year-old or my 10-year-old shouldn't turn on a show on primetime TV and see some fire engine guy's ass because he's going to have sex while he's stripping off the shirt where you don't see boobs. You get the hint of them, the sense of them being there. Can't show boobs, but you can show a guy's butt cheeks. I don't need my children watching that. If they're older and 18 or older and they want to watch that stuff, that's up to them.
Yeah,
Everybody's got an ass.
Thinking, hey, I should be a firefighter or an EMT so I can have sex with everybody all the time.
All the time. On top of fire engines, in the locker room, wherever. And I want to be a firefighter so I can have sex all the time too.
Like that happens every day. It only happens on
really.
Wednesdays.
So faking a good time.
Can't all be Wednesday.
Got to make money somehow, Roger. What does Roger say? I was wondering why so many live streaming cameras were installed around the house. PPV voyeur cams. Yeah, that's right. Rainey's got them all over the house. I just have to
do that now. I'm a scoutmaster. I have to behave the way.
Yeah, she has to behave now. So we have to put away her OnlyFans site. So all that stuff. You got to be careful when you're a scoutmaster, so nobody tunes into our. Look at the videos captured on their 24-hour surveillance system around the house. Woohoo! Ooh, who's that big fat white ugly guy with that gorgeous woman? Oh, never mind.
Is that Uncle Dave there again?
Yeah. Fat only looks worse when you're pasty white. I've noticed.
Well, and not a lot of fat people lay out and get a tan. Well,
that's not true.
Because every naturist I've ever met.
Roll him back into the water.
Oh my God, those whales beach. Oh no, it's just a bunch of naturists.
Oh no, that's just Dave. Dave, I'm not making fun of you. Dave has lost over 100 pounds. So Dave is he's looking almost 200 pounds. So
I've lost 200
in comparison.
Yeah.
So this Constantine you guys mentioned must be the one with the actor who played in The Matrix. Yeah, Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
So that's what Matthew's focusing on.
Nice. If Ellie starts,
It was
growing a
just in the
beard,
background for
Uncle
us.
Dave might not be too uncly.
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
What'd you say?
I was just agreeing with her
I
because she's
said
my
if
wife.
Ellie starts growing a beard, we know Uncle Dave might not be too uncly.
Yeah, there you
Oh.
go. Says Grumpy Stack. There it is. That's TOO. Grumpy Stack cretin. Too many, too much. So that's 2 O's. That's one of those things that drives me crazy on, when I see people's posts, bad grammar. I'm not a grammar Nazi, but I'm like, is that all the better you write? And not you. I'm not pointing out at you, Grumpy Stack, even though I mentioned that it's two O's.
Yeah, but voice to text doesn't catch that stuff.
I know.
Right.
It doesn't. That's the
It's
problem.
very frustrating because it should.
It should. If it was intuitive, if it was a smartphone, it would catch all of that.
Yeah, it doesn't though.
My favorite is when you can tell when people are voice texting because sometimes the phone won't catch the sentence and then you say period. So it'll be like,
Yeah.
It'll be like, let's go get some corn, period.
Let's go get some corn, period.
What? What the fuck is that?
Huh? What? At least it doesn't spell especially. That's one of my things when I listen to people talk, and if they ever say especially, which has no X in it, it's spelled ES.
Ask me this.
It's the word special with an E put at the front, especially, meaning extra specially. Maybe that's where they get the X. Especially? Especially isn't a word. Where did you grow up?
Ask me this.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something.
Let me ask you something. Yeah. Well, then you're a racist if you bring that one up.
Are you dyslexic?
What about often and often then?
Often. The T is silent. Now there's a T there. I would question why was the T there if the word often, if the T is silent.
Spelled by a Welshman.
You had to be.
It's like, oh, we've got these extra T's laying around. Put it in that word over
Put
there.
it in that word. And
have another L. I've already
got
got an L. Oh, it's all right. Take an extra one.
I distinctly remember in third grade
Lloyd.
vocabulary, third grade, Mrs. Young, my teacher. I remember her teaching the word often. It's pronounced often. It's because the T is silent. And I thought, well, why is the T silent? Why is it there then? Shouldn't it be then OFFON, often?
Because the English
whatever.
are so wealthy, they can spend letters they don't even need. That's
right. And now, I've noticed this over the last several years, all your broadcasters will say often. I say, aren't broadcasters supposed to know how to pronounce things? Often is the word.
I don't know if you've noticed, and I don't know if it's a Mandela effect thing or what, but a lot of people have changed the pronunciation of words.
Yes, they have.
Scorsese has changed this pronunciation of his name, and there's a whole bunch of other people that, and I'm like,
how does Scorsese say his name now?
It used to be Scorsese, and now suddenly everybody does Scorsese.
It's Scorsese, yes.
For decades, it was Scorsese, and it was okay. Now it's like, and even he would say that, and now it's changed. I don't understand that. And there's a whole bunch of words like that I've noticed they've changed the pronunciation of them, not the spelling, but the pronunciation of them.
Yes, I agree. I've noticed that too. I got to pull this a little closer. There you go.
My chair sliding
so
back.
You can see my wife's beauty a little closer. I feel like, because of the kind of camera it is, if I lean forward, look at that. I look like Andre the Giant next to my wife.
Well, you're also
but if I
sitting
go
on a
back
big
here,
office chair, and I got this tiny little metal chair.
There you go. Yeah, she's sitting on the little metal chair, and we should bring your office chair in here.
No.
Then it'd be comfortable.
No.
I could go get it.
No.
I will serve you. I will gladly serve you by my own hand.
Shut your freaking mouth, dude.
So, see, I'm only like right now. This is me even with her. See? But then I lean forward, so my head looks like twice the size of hers.
Well, you do have a big head.
Look at what you learn on this show.
You have a big
Astute
head.
observations. I have what?
You have a big head.
I do have a big head. See?
It has nothing to do with the size of it, but you do have a big head.
Yeah, shut up. Oh, I can't hear you anymore, Dave. We're gonna have to take you off the studio. So, gosh, we lost Dave. Language is always evolving, says Ryan Gale. Yeah.
Yeah.
You notice how inflation doesn't mean inflation anymore? That's evolved. I'm not getting into politics. I'm just saying.
I want to get into politics. I was really the other day. I heard Biden say something like, "We need to lower taxes or not charge people who make $400,000 a year or less more taxes." I'm like, holy shit! I said, how many people actually make $400,000?
She looked it up.
A year. It's 1.8% of Americans make $400,000 or over. I'm like, holy shit!
So he's saying 98.2% of Americans will have no tax increase at all. Pull this leg and it'll play Jingle Bells.
Right?
Yeah.
So
I don't buy that.
I don't buy that
And
at
not
all.
to be like, I don't know. Does anybody that listened to the show make over $400,000 a year?
Hey,
Like,
who here
holy
makes
shit.
over $400,000 a year?
We need
Raise
new
your
phones.
hand, please. We
Yeah,
could
raise
use
your
some new
hands.
phones.
We need new phones.
If we
Oh,
have
my
listeners that make that much, they could just cut us each a check so we can get back to painting.
Right?
That's right. That's right. So
Oh, my goodness.
they don't owe us that. I'm not
No.
one of those up with the people, down with the aristocrats or the rich or whatever.
No. But it'd be nice to have impresarios again that would just come in and go, oh.
It would be nice to run into the patrons of the arts. Like the Pope, he supported Michelangelo for how many years? But then again, he was the Pope, and he was using
only one
everybody's money.
candle a day.
Only one candle a day. That's it. Let's see. What else did Ryan say? Language is always evolving. Yes. The church was spelled Kirk in the Old English. Gay meant joy. Now it has a completely different meaning. You're right, Matthew Sainsbury. And so, Cordia, Spirit Heart Gods and Goddesses, the Tower of Babel globally. She says, I'm glitchy. LOL. So, language always evolves. I get
Babel,
that.
another thing. Every once in a while, you hear people that pronounce it Babel. I'm like, what?
Babel.
What the?
Babel.
Like, what's wrong with these people?
Well, and somebody says, "Oh, that's obviously a myth because it sounds like the word babbling." I said, well, "Dude, where do you think
that
babbling came from?" Yeah. So, what else was I just thinking of when you said that? Something about the Tower of Babel. Tower of Babel. I can't think of what it was now. It'll come to me later. So,
maybe it's Baal.
Baal, or Baal, Baal, BA''AL.
Baal. Maybe it was Baal.
Maybe it's balls. I think Rainey is she's struck dumb by our radiance, Uncle Dave.
Could be.
Oh, don't you have anything to say, Rainey? Oh, she's struck dumb by my radiance. So, oh,
I'm all empty.
The bitter dregs of French press.
Rainey, would you get me another coffee?
Yeah, I'll work on that right now.
Yes.
I like that Rasa tea, and I haven't ordered it for a long time. That's what I like to start my mornings with.
That the shroom tea?
Yeah. Now I'm back to Pepsi.
Shroom tea. That,
Oh man, I found a company who sells the microdosing of the psilocybin, and since I've decided I wanna start taking it, I can't find the company anywhere.
Of course not. Now that you want to take it.
Did you see the video I sent you yesterday on the mushrooms in the beer?
Yes,
No.
Was that interesting or not?
that was very interesting.
They put mushrooms in beer now.
I was going to forward that to you.
They used to, and the Catholic Church and the Germans took it out of the beer recipe because it was a way of distancing themselves from the heathens and the pagans and such, because they put mushrooms in their meads and beers and things like that, so they could commune closer to God, because this is science. And the church was like, oh, you cannot be doing that. You got to keep we, the priests, talk to the church and to God, and then you come to us, and we'll tell you what God said.
Right.
You know what's interesting is, and we talked about this once on Intrepid, was in recent months they have found some of the altars of the little synagogues around the Temple Mount in Jerusalem, and that date back a couple of thousand years or more. And they found that there was a little altar. There was like a little pillar, and it was about like this and about 4 feet tall. And on the top of this pillar were all these burned char remains. And so they went in and they did some testing on those substances, whatever it was that they burned on those altars. And they found that there was a lot of weed in there. And I'm talking Hempis campyllosus religiosity weed. So there's a lot of psilocybin type of stuff. There was a lot of weed. There was a lot of hallucinogens and things like that. And so it's like,
so it's not all just frankincense and myrrh burning in those
it's
temples.
not. And you combine that with, did you know, folks, that are perhaps religious Judeo-Christian, did you know that the high priests of the temple in Jerusalem, Judaism, that they used to tell fortunes with rocks? I kid you not. That would be like you go to the witch in the woods and she would cast stones, or ogum, or you would have
Read sheep's
chicken
knuckles.
bones and things like that.
Sheep's knuckles.
Well, they had this thing, yeah. They had these stones, and nobody quite knows what they were. Maybe some deep Jewish rabbinic scholar knows something more about these, but they were called the Umim and the Thurim. And they were like, let's consult God through the Umim and the Thurim. And the high priest would take these stones and cast them or throw them, or just see how
Were
the
they
light
like
would
rune
shine
stone?
in them. And that would tell you what God was thinking. And,
Wasn't that the whole premise of rune stones?
Yep, the Urim and the Thummim. And the same purpose of the rune stones. And so there's some interesting stuff that all these guys got into back then. They were into your hallucinogens. So what did the high priest do one day a year in the Holy of Holies that nobody else could go into? And they'd tie a rope around his ankle in case he was struck dead, so they could pull him out without going into the presence of the Ark of the Covenant. What did he do in there? What did the high priests do, or the priestly caste do? They'd smoke weed. They'd get into that stuff. You got to know it. You got to know that stuff took place. There's some awfully weird stuff that you read about. That's interesting. I think it's interesting.
They did the manna man.
So some of the way they decided what God was thinking was the way anybody else does in pagan religions. They would cast stones or something like that. So here, Matthew Sainsbury is going to give us a lesson now. So if you want to hear all about it, go read Matthew Sainsbury's posts. That's what Matthew is good at. Love you, Matthew. So that's that. So speaking of psilocybin, so these mini doses, these micro doses that you get, you're gonna hallucinate now.
It should be low enough that you don't hallucinate, but just enough to give you the happy side effects.
Ooh, like the sexy time happy side effects?
I think more like just to be happy side effects.
That's happy.
And it's supposed to help heal. I don't know. With all my stuff.
Yeah, your stuff.
I thought it would be worth a try because it would be really
Maybe
nice.
you'll be a lot more suggestible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan, I saw a show done on that. There was some guys, a couple of guys that were adventurers that did some shows, and they were not bad on the things. They were looking into that whole Ark of the Covenant thing, and they went to the church in Ethiopia, who led them to some other guy. Well, it's this elder over in that village knows more. And they go talk to him, and he says, well, this elder over here in this mountain cave knows more. And they go to the mountain cave, and the elder was out, but his assistant was there and led him to somewhere else. And they ended up in these big craggy cliff faces going into these caves that nobody ever goes into. And sure, and you know, life and limb stuff almost. And they're up there and they climb this cliff face and they get in there, and there's paintings and there's Ark of the Covenant paintings and stuff, but there's no Ark of the Covenant there. So who the hell knows? So maybe we need to peek into that church and see if the Ark is there. I don't think it is. I have a theory. I think the Ark of the Covenant is in Jewish possession in Israel. I think if there's anything left of it, if the Philistines didn't melt it down for its gold, let's remember the last you see of the Ark of the Covenant biblically,
Not
what
made of
happened?
solid gold.
It was carried off after the invasion by the Babylonians, and it was never mentioned again in the Bible. So, 500 BCE, something like that. So where's the Ark of the Covenant now? Who knows? What, Dave?
It was made of acacia wood and covered in gold. So
Covered in gold, right.
So it was probably either hammered really thin and gold relief put onto it, or it was just like a gold leaf over the acacia box.
Yeah. Overlaid in gold. Yeah, it wasn't solid gold. Built out of wood. So hang on. I gotta look at a message that's coming in. Oh, cool. Andrea Molnix, if you're listening, I'll let you know when we're done with radio. So yeah. So I don't know where we were. We were talking about psilocybins. So I think there are some molds you can have the same effect. You get an apple pie and it's moldy on the bottom, just eat it.
Get an apple pie, it's moldy on the bottom, and you throw it away before Scotty finds out. He wakes everybody up in the house looking for apple pie while he's angry.
Where the hell is the apple
Where's
pie?
The pie? You're all sleeping. Wake up and find me my pie.
Wake up. Where's my pie?
Mold in the bottom of a pie?
Well, it was funny. We got this apple pie.
We have a place where you can go get freebies when that.
And we did
how did you find mold on the bottom of a pie? Who looks on the bottom?
It was on the top of the pie.
Okay.
On the top of the pie.
But I went and picked up this pie and it had no mold on it. And then I woke up in the morning and there was mold on it. So I threw it away. All day. Nobody cared anything about the pie. Nobody asked about the pie. We go to sleep. It's like midnight and Scotty's banging on Rowan's door for her to open her door, waking up the whole house. And where's the remote? Where's my pie?
Where's that pie? I want pie. Yeah. Where's
my pie?
So
I was craving a piece of that pie all day at the art show.
And it wasn't the art show that I threw it away.
Friday night.
It was Friday. I threw it away Friday.
Sat on the counter for a day and a half, and I said, "Oh, apple pie." And so we did that show on Friday. All during Friday, I saw a home baked apple pie from some of these farm women. They come out and they bake all these pies, and I'm like, "Ooh, $15 for a pie." No, I got an apple pie sitting at home on the counter.
Yeah,
apple pie. So we get home. And I do the show Friday night. And after the show, everybody's in bed. And I go up to the kitchen. I go to cut myself a slice of apple pie. What don't I find?
Pie?
The apple pie. It's gone.
Because it was in the trash can.
I'm looking all over. I'm looking in the fridge. Did somebody put it in the fridge? Is it in the cabinet? Is it nowhere? Nowhere. I didn't think to look in the bottom of the garbage can because we'd only had it for a day. So I wants me pie, says Ken Ballos. Yes. Hi. The dog and
more
the child.
likely to be in Flynn's room, half eaten and underneath
that's what I thought.
Bed or something.
No, he likes blueberry pie with me.
Yeah.
Hey, Ro.
He's around.
Good morning,
How you doing, Ro?
Good.
Good.
What's shaking? Your cat's around
Bing
somewhere.
bong.
What's that say?
Bob Saget.
Oh, fun fact. Don't care.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
Bob.
Bob Saget. Well, see, he's been fed, so he'll stop harassing you for a
He's
while.
underneath the stairs, Ro.
Oh, I hear him back there. Or is that just Ellie banging around? So yeah, the kitty, Bob Saget, will in the mornings, you'd think he had never
Rowan.
eaten before.
Rowan,
Oh, hey,
stuck to her
look,
butt?
there's a Jack
Or is that
Jacqueline 31 who was in the chat room. I was going to say, if you want to show me something, shoot me an email. Nah, he's out in the wings there, and he's got a huge erect penis wagging in the air.
Ew.
So yeah, you don't want to see that. Bye. Go.
What?
Go. Jacqueline 31. You know what? That's astute.
How do we make it go?
I'll bet your mom's proud. Oh wait, maybe your mom put you up to that. Oh, I'll bet you Jacqueline 31 lives in his mom's basement. Yeah,
Could be.
could be.
Bing, bing.
No doubt. That's why I just don't bring anybody into the chat anymore, into the video.
Oh,
In the-
handsome kitty.
Hi, Kitty. Hi, Bob Saget.
Oh, he's so handsome.
His name is Bing Bong.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
How you doing? So he likes to, in the mornings when I get up, he will, from out of nowhere, zing, he runs across my feet.
Today
And
I
I'm
was
like,
sitting.
where was he? Then I'll walk out in the kitchen to make coffee and zing, he runs across my feet. And if I start in the same directions, zing, he runs across my, he keeps trying to lead me to the basement, the downstairs where his food dish is, because he wants to be fed.
Today when I was sitting on the couch, he clawed out my head so he could get.
Oh, he's back. See, they have a way of some of these hackers. That's all they know. He's probably not even there. It's just
Come
such a
on, you
automated-
asshat. There's a freaking kid over here.
Well, that's why they think it's funny. Because they want kids to see their shit. I can't see what I'm
gonna
doing.
find you and come murder you.
I already.
So
tried it.
kick from studio, kick gas. Okay, he's out of the studio. So we will let's see if we can block him. We'll block him for now. That'll last for a while. So if you see Jackin 31, that's all he's there for. He's not there for conversation. He is there to spam you because while he's living in his mom's basement, probably living off of his retired mom's money, probably having his mom feed him and pay his rent so he doesn't have to go out and get a real job. He's sitting down in the basement with his blacklit AC/DC posters and his porn centerfolds hanging on the walls, and he's trying to disrupt people's chats and broadcasts. That's what these people do because they think it's fun. They think it's fun. That's the only. We had a bunch of guys that were on here one night several months ago. Some of you may remember it. That were on the show one night, and I let a couple of them come in to talk, and they kept trying to disrupt things like my child does live. I say, why do I need you? I got my children live doing that, disrupting things. And they were trying to make all kinds of racial comments that were actually funny jokes if you took them out of the context of being racist and them trying to create problems. And that's what they do. And the one guy stuck around. He says, don't. He says, the other guy that's a friend, he says, don't do that. He said, I want to talk about this. We were talking Bigfoot or something. And he was actually serious. He enjoyed the conversation, showed us pictures of footprints in the snow at his house and stuff like that. But that's what people will do. So Jacqueline 31, sorry you got nothing better to do with your time, but to try to show yours or somebody else's penis, maybe that's his... Maybe I'm being insensitive. Maybe that was his gay lover's penis, and he'd like to show it off on air. I don't know. So, if that's all you got, if that's making you money, you can go find somebody who will let you come on. But, I can see what I see in the wings here. I see the little windows of the people calling in, and I can see your video. I can see what your camera's showing us. That was obviously a video because he tried twice, and it replayed the same thing. So there you go. It's a whole thing, says Roger Rabbit. Groups gather online and just go crash.
I'm getting a coffee. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fun for them, I guess. Hey, will you go fill up my coffee cup if there's any coffee up there? Might have to warm it up in the microwave for 30 seconds. Then put a little cream in it. If
Try
there's
not to spill it down the stairs like Dad does.
Yeah. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, hold it like that when you walk down the
Yeah,
stairs.
there you go. How do you know it's a him? Maybe it's a they, them. It might be a they, them. I don't care about pronouns. That's why.
They shouldn't have any reproductive parts if it's a they, them.
Yeah. They, them. They, them. I get asked in certain things, what my personal pronouns are. I don't remember what it was. I think I was applying for an art director position somewhere, just off of the job groups.
Yeah, I remember this one.
I get those, and they want you to. They ask you this questionnaire while you're applying for the job online. And what are your preferred personal pronouns? And so I put, hey you, comma, dude, comma, Batman.
Why I had you would you ask me that one day too when you were filling one out, and I'm like, tell him you were the supreme God of the world.
Oh yes, there was that one. I
want to be referred to as.
I identify as the supreme God of the world.
Scotty, supreme God of the world.
There it is. So, maybe that's why I didn't get the job.
Well, not to be like, out of the million things you've ever sent to that,
yeah.
17 years I've known you, you've never gotten a job off that. So what's the point?
Yeah, now that's funny.
Wasting your time.
I'm supposed to be super talented and at the top of my field, but you know what? People don't want to hire people in their 60s.
Put it in for 30 seconds. Okay.
Oh.
Bye. Love you.
That's why you never hear me when I call. Your phone never rings.
If I can't see it, it's not important.
There you go. If you can't see it, it's not important. Here, look at this. Don't hit it. Hit it, but don't hit it. Ow. Watch it. Watch it. My wife's first name is Christian. She goes by Christian. Is it Christian or Christian? She goes by her middle name. The health insurance called me and asked if I was in a domestic partnership.
Nice.
Interesting. So, yes, I'm thinking of taking a second wife. That's so my wife can have some free time. And so Raini said she was all for it. So applications, start sending them in.
Yes. You must have a job.
You must have a job.
And you must commit your money to this relationship. I will do the cooking and the cleaning.
Well, what will the second wife do? Just work?
Work and can have fun with, I guess. That's.
Oh, there you go. I know some people, very good people. Pagan, he's got 2 wives. And they're like, they've been together for how many years? 6, 7 years?
No idea.
Whew. You know who they are, Dave. So Subspace Radio. Scotty, that's because we are old enough to know what our talents are worth. Damn straight. Hummers. She comes with a Hummer? All right. I've always wanted one of those. Can fit the whole family in it. It's got a great stereo system. Hey, we're looking for a throuple as well. Need an extra set of hands around here. Hey, maybe you guys should just move up here and we'll all muck in together, Roger. I think that would work.
Yeah.
So we've got the room. So we just have to finish painting the floors. I can do that myself. Uncle Dave was helping, and then he ran into some car problems and stuff and couldn't make it out.
That was a week for car problems, though, because my mom's alternator went out. The next day, she's like, I can't come over. My alternator's out. And I had to do some stuff with her car.
A Hummer once a year on your birthday. Pshaw with that. So I do the reciprocal of that. So more than I do that every day. So, that's, I'm not trying to be dirty. If you're talking psychology of couples, there's finances. Finances can be a great sex subduer if you don't have enough. If you're struggling, if you're, there's lots of things that can affect things. I get that. But the opposite is true too. Hey, I just got a $12,000 check-in from this client. Oh, neat. Let's go shopping and then I'll take you to bed.
Right.
In that order. So Dave gets his car back tomorrow. Rainey's reaction was priceless. What was your reaction?
I don't know.
I don't know what you were.
Go back and watch it.
I have to go back and watch what your reaction was. What did Carly say? Let's commune it up. I'll paint. Well, come on. I got a brush for you. So I got several brushes for you. Oh, is that all the coffee that was left? Thank you. You're a sweetheart. I appreciate it. For the warm coffee. It's so warm. The cup is hot. Yes. It's all right. Oh, it's nice and creamy too. You put.
Yeah, I put a lot of creamer.
You put just the right amount of cream times 3. That was great. It's all right though. See, you can see the color.
I have
you
the
can't.
creamer like this.
It blends in with the white of the cup.
This is the same color as the cup.
Yeah. LOL. That's what he said.
Okay, let's not shake Mom. That makes her.
I paint and cook.
Oh.
Dave paints cook. I'm not going to marry you though, Dave. That would not make a good commune. Then again, you can come and live in our commune. I think that'd be a great addition to the commune. I find back shoulder rubs give a great return on investment. Put in the time and you get to see some hind. Says Roger Rabbit. What are you writing down?
The shopping list. She wants to go to Walmart. I got to write it down.
They got to go to Walmart and go shopping.
I need my nails, but Ellery took my $3 and I don't have enough for it.
Oh, no.
Ellery left. Because Ellery.
Yeah, Ellie stole her money out of her room.
Oh, you stole money from your sister?
Yeah, and she spent.
You need to pay that back double. If you took
And she-
$3, you got to give her $6
She spent it
back.
at the art fair.
You don't steal people's money,
Yeah, I needed it
especially
for
in your
my
family.
Halloween.
Family doesn't steal from family.
Yes.
No.
So I think I'll become Fagin, and from Shakespeare or from Oliver Twist.
Stop.
We'll send my children out every day to pickpocket. What do you have for me today? Alec Guinness, who played Obi-Wan Kenobi in the original Star Wars, played Fagin in the old Oliver Twist.
You need to pay that back.
Oh, that's Dave. I thought.
Sorry.
We're hearing feedback.
Oh,
I could send
Yeah.
my children out to the streets, and when they come home in the evening, say, "What do you have for me, my children? What gifts? What baubles have you found
we do
today?"
send our children out in the street to push for wreaths and popcorn so they can go to Cub Scouts.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
Mhm.
Here, buy this exorbitantly expensive bag of popcorn.
You say that. You keep saying that, but 70.
I say that because it's a joke. I say it's
70
expensive because what you're doing is you're donating money to the Scouts, and we give you in return this bag of caramel
Stop
corn.
saying exorbitantly expensive.
You
You're
already
going to donate
said
your $20 and you're going to get a bag of popcorn.
Yeah,
You're
that's
the
true.
only one who says that.
That's a
it's not
big-
really about the popcorn.
I always clarify
Right.
that. I tell the joke and then I clarify it.
And
Hey,
You're the
Scotty.
only one who says
Our
that.
last child moved out this weekend. My wife is afraid that I might start walking around in my underwear. That's scaring your wife, huh?
we do have kettle corn. Lots of kettle corn. If you're interested, you can go on. I think Scotty's Facebook or my Facebook has Ellie's link to buy popcorn. If you want to buy popcorn.
Somewhere. It's buried in my posts, but I'll put something up.
Ellie, I
for
know
that.
you're having fun, and I love your snuggles and cuddles, but my shoulder is not in an open
See,
place.
Russ, my wife gets worried when I walk around in my underwear too. She's like, "Why aren't you naked?"
Underwear. Scotty doesn't wear underwear.
I don't.
He walked in the bedroom today. All his girls were sleeping in the bed, and he slapped his naked butt in front of us.
I
and
go,
he goes, "Ew!"
Well, I wasn't frontally naked. I had a shirt hanging in front, and I had a shirt on and a shirt I was holding because I had to go downstairs to where the master bedroom's gonna be, and my dresser and all that's down here. So I had to go downstairs to get pants, and so I stopped by the doorway, and there's Rainey sitting there watching TV with the kids, and I go, "Hey, look at this! This is for Mom!" And I just turned my bare ass and slapped it. And Mom said, "Ooh, chicky, do you have some fries to go with that shake?"
Yeah, that's.
And the girls went, "Ew, Dad." So it was just a bare buttock.
Mom
is all
never
it was.
said that. Mom never said that.
She did. You just didn't hear it.
No, she didn't.
Dad hears a lot of stuff in his own head.
Yeah, she did. Well, that's what she was thinking.
No,
Nobody
Who
was.
invited you to this show?
I didn't.
So anyway.
And
Okay, sold.
That
Said,
little
Russ,
runs around naked all the time.
just Roger says, just dedicate one room as the pantsless zone. Fair warning to all who may enter. Like now,
Clothing optional.
it could be pantsless right now, and you'd never know. Let's see. Carly Sagan says, "Brother Grumpy McDugginess Stackinghauer." Yeah, that's his full title. So when we all went to England, two buddies of mine and I, and one of their's wives, Dave, you know them all. It was Jeff Shilkin, Nate Westover, and Jeff's wife Samantha. And we rented a car and we went pub hopping and castle hopping around England. Ouch! Watch what you're doing, child. I love your hugs and schnoogles, but not when they're painful.
Right.
Like this?
Like here, let
When
me
they bust
squeeze
the
into your
ball.
chair while you're not watching, and I'll step on you. This is the perpetual cap. Ow! That was my chin.
Ow. Ow.
Captain Perpetual Motion here.
Oh my God. Quit wiggling. I'm getting motion sick, kid.
We're gonna send you away soon. We're gonna send you to a boarding school where when lunchtime comes and you're still hungry, you can go up with your mug and say, "May I have some more, please?"
You're weird.
What?
I'd like some more. Could I have a little bit more? Just a wee bit tiny.
May I have some more, please?
You're weird and you're weird.
Yeah, you don't know how weird. Oh, you have no idea. So,
You suppose that's how the first Howard came along? How weird.
yeah. All right, you're out. Bye. I cast her to the floor. Throw him to the floor, Centurion. Throw him to the floor. Oh, gosh. Look at me weeping in sadness because that hurt your knee.
The next time I'm over, you and I and Flynn need to sit down and watch that.
Whatever. Yeah. It's a fun movie.
What?
Sounds like Oliver Twist, says Matthew Sainsbury. Yeah, that's what I said.
It's exactly Oliver Twist.
Where he said,
Very good for you.
"You got it, Matthew." Oliver Twist. So we're rounding up to the end of this program, believe it or not. Believe it or not, we've been going an hour and 50 minutes, and Rainey has been here the whole time. Oh, wait, no, she came in when I went up to get coffee. So it's nice to have you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like being had?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm exhausted. Standing outside in the cold for 2 days was hard.
Yeah. That will, you don't have to do anything, and that'll get your body. I noticed last night. Will you please go?
Upstairs.
I've asked you to leave. Go. You don't listen. You hate me. I hate my life.
Your ankle hurts so bad. Go sit on the couch.
Go sit on the sofa. Put your.
When I come upstairs, I will make.
When we come
breakfast.
upstairs, we'll all have breakfast. Or go find some Captain Chocolate cereal or something. I don't want that.
She doesn't want you to eat with her. You pissed
Oh,
her off.
too bad. Yeah, that's what my daughter does. I'm mad at you, so I'm withholding my love. Yeah, children.
I'll come over and hang you upside down and work on that ankle.
Oh, for the days when we could hang them by their thumbnails.
It just needs to be stretched out a bit. Tie a leather strap around it and hang her from a
That's
hook.
right. Good to see you, Rainey.
Good to see you too.
That's Cordia.
Hi,
If
Corey.
you don't recognize her
Yeah, I
screen name.
don't recognize the name.
Somebody else is coming
Always
downstairs
does
now.
different. That's Lucy.
Oh, that's the dog. She said, no, that was Rowan.
Oh,
Watch the cat. Ready?
Well, why do you think the dog,
will you
the
stop wasting
cat
my
attacked
paper
you?
and my tape?
I'm not.
I'm not.
I'm not wasting your paper and your
It
tape. Your
wouldn't be a
expensive
problem, and I wouldn't care. But when I
construction
have
paper.
to pick up the crap she pretends to make so she can mess around with it.
Hello,
I have to
Rowan.
Carpet off the
How are you this morning?
Take off the carpet. I get irritated.
Oh, did you get clawed?
No, he doesn't like these.
What is that? You have 2 pieces of construction paper and tape.
Stop messing with my paper.
There you go.
I only
Here,
have
let me see
10
those.
Pieces.
Let me see those. You know what you can do?
Put some pants on.
I'm not going to rip
You
them
have
up.
10 black ones now?
Can I have them?
What
for a
happened to
second?
all the blue? What happened to all the blue and
Oh,
Dad!
other colors you did?
oh! Look, they fell apart.
Those are from
Put some pants on.
Hey, look.
She has shorts on. Shorts now.
Yeah, those are annoying, aren't
short
they?
shorts. They don't make kids shorts that are long.
Yeah, she's wearing shorts. So there you go.
Spankies, we used to call those.
Yeah, pretty much.
And my kids got my butt, so their butt cheeks stick out of everybody's shorts. Doesn't matter what brand shorts they have on, their butt cheeks are sticking out.
Your butt cheeks stick out of everybody's shorts?
Out of every brand of short.
Scotty, that's
Oh.
why your friends all love your wife.
That's right. Well, what's not to love? What's not to love? Thank you, Ken Bellows. He said, fun show. You're welcome, Scotty. I studied him in English literature. Charles Dickens was a great writer. Yes, he was.
Yes, he was.
He wrote some great books.
You know who does a great Dickens?
Who?
Cunningham. Jim Cunningham.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen him do Dickens.
Oh, and in fact, often around Christmas, he'll go out and do readings of Dickens' work, the way Dickens used to do.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've never seen Jimmy do that in the 30 years I've known him. Because I'm never there when he's doing it, I guess.
He also does an excellent Groucho Marx.
I haven't seen him do Groucho either. I've heard him affect Groucho Marx, but never do the Groucho Marx thing. So
Take a look at his Facebook page. There's a picture of him with somebody doing Harpo and Chico, and they're all there 3 together. And when I first saw it, I'm like, wow, he looks with his hairline and everything. So easy for him to do Groucho.
Jim Cunningham's a pretty cool guy. He's the guy, by the way, folks, I've mentioned him before. Rainey and I are doing the Phantom's Feast at the festival grounds, the Renaissance Festival grounds, next weekend, doing ghost hunting. He puts on a show at the Renaissance Festival. He does 3 feasts a day. You buy exorbitantly expensive tickets to attend the Feast
You
of
keep
Phantom.
using this word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
I'm not thinking it means what you think it means. Yeah, exorbitantly expensive, whatever it costs to get into the feast these days. And they bring in all the little bit shows and the acts and everything that will come in bad manner. And then during the Halloween season, he throws the Phantom's
Feast.
And that's where he's having us come in and do the ghost
Not a sponsor.
2 of the nights. Not a sponsor? What?
We've said Phantom's Feast 100 times today. They're not a sponsor. Yeah. We're giving them a lot of freebies,
but Jim's a friend. That's why I'm talking about it. So Jimmy's the feast master for both. He's been doing that for years at the festival. So back when I first started at festival in the mid 90s, he was doing the Phantom's Feast.
Yep, he took over right about the time I joined festival. Fudd left the feast and he joined the feast. Now Fudd's the entertainment director. He's come back to the show.
There you go.
But
cool.
Yeah. Lulling conversation.
I was just staring at my wife's beauty on the monitor. There it is. It's hard not to look. I appreciate my wife's beauty. And
we all appreciate her beauty.
I do. I love the big thick. You can tell how thick her hair is by her braids. Her braids are like sea rope. They're so thick, and
Coarse and scraggly. No, that's not what he meant.
no, not scraggly. So, I'll tell you something. If I was actually a sea captain, you would be my cabin wench. That's how much I like you.
Great.
Yay.
Okay.
And I'd dress you in pretty dresses.
And once a fortnight, he'd come in and do you proper.
That's right.
Because that's how long it takes to get it back up.
That's right.
Nice.
So, and I'd steal you all kinds of magnificent dresses from the ships we raid.
Yay.
So, just wanted to let you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you'd cook and service the crew. No, that's not it.
No. She won't service the crew. She won't cook. She doesn't need to cook. Only when she wants to.
I just got a new coffee and it's almost empty again. That's so depressing.
So I know. How does that happen? Mine too. That was like in, you remember the Star Trek original series episode, Mirror, Mirror, when Kirk goes to his cabin and he's got a cabin woman in there. And she was pretty, she didn't have rank, but she had, what do you call it? When they don't have rank, but if you cross her words.
She had position.
She had position.
And she looked like she might have read the Kama Sutra at time of edition. She might have had multiple positions.
Right, I was going to say, Raini has position here. Lots of them. So, and you can see how intrigued she is at adding to that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You do? Because I'll get you one for Christmas if you.
What?
Copy of the Kama Sutra. It's an excellent read.
Well, I've seen it. I need the illustrated.
I don't buy it for the pictures. It's just the art.
It's those ancient Indian pictures. You're going, how are they doing that?
Yeah.
Does the body really move that way?
Do they have a trapeze in their room? How are they doing that?
There it is. Cordia, Spirit Heart, Gods and Goddesses says, Barbie girl in a pirate world, she says. You or Raini? Yeah. Raini's no Barbie girl. Raini is...
You're certainly not a Ken doll.
No, thank God. So, I'm a G.I. Joe.
Your foot comes off in your boot?
Yeah, my foot comes off with my boot.
Used to hate that. Not going to get a pair of pliers and get those out of there.
When did they have? I remember they came out once with the drawstring G.I. Joes because they said things, and I can't remember the things they were saying.
Put my foot back on.
Contact sighted. Give fire. I don't remember what it was, but the G.I. Joe said.
The worst ones were the Kung Fu gripped.
Yes, I had one of those. It's never good, says Roger Rabbit, when your cabin woman reeks leaves. When your cabin woman leaves a lasting scent. Oh, and you said ranks. Disregard it. Okay. I got it. I got where you were going with that. My cabin woman reeks purty. So she stinks purty. So most of the time.
And she got a purty mouth.
Yeah, she sure does.
Weirdos.
Anyway, there you go. So, folks, guess what? We're at the end of the broadcast, and we're even overtime by a minute. So, thanks for coming in for a very casual, non-committal, fly from the seat of our pants captain's cabin. This wasn't even the captain's cabin. Sunday morning. It's
Sunday morning. It's Sunday.
It's Sunday. Somewhere.
With Scott and Raini.
Raini, Scotty, you dress her up as a pirate treasure. Oh, you know I do. Oh, we likes them baubles and gold things and trinkets. And you're not, I just want you to know, you're not just a trinket to me.
Uh-huh.
So.
I'm a ball buster.
Ow.
She's
Do that
the
slower
crowning
next time.
jewel.
Slower, please. I'm old.
That was with my bad shoulder. You got slower.
That was for her bad shoulder, yeah. So I need to wear a nut cup to the radio show these days. So thank you, everybody. We're gonna get out of here, Uncle Dave.
Love you both.
We'll see you. I love you too. We'll see you
Hug
whenever
to
we
the
see you.
kid.
Talk to you soon. Oh, he was still talking. Wait, what was that?
I get my car back tomorrow.
Oh, right on.
I will by Wednesday I'll be out there for
I
at
hope it
least a
doesn't
day of
cost
training.
as much as a pill at the ER.
$1,500.
Jeez.
Just for an alternator, I would have came and
Well,
changed it out.
I have an alternator, and
She can
they
change an
changed
alternator.
the headlights, and they did valve cover gaskets, and they did something with the power steering to correct that. So
There it is. Thanks, Scott Allen. And yes, Matthew, next time I see Ruben, I'll tell him you say hi. So cut Dave off, says Matthew Sainsbury. He wants me to cut you off. See you,
I
Dave.
think he said-
Love you. Bye.
You're so mean.
That was for Matthew. All right, folks. Thanks for being here. Appreciate your time
Yeah.
and the fact that you would be here and listen to us really talk about nothing today. But I hope it was efficacious for you and you got something out of it. So you know what? Live long and prosper.